Capricorn, Ali from Indigo Ascension. Welcome to your weekly quick read for the week beginning January the 25th through to the 31st. Just like last week, there are some significant transits, okay? So the final 2 weeks of January were always going to set the tone for the remainder of the year in many ways. We've had some deep integrations since the 21st of December last year at solstice. And as you guys know, a lot of that heavy duty responsibility within the cosmos is being handed over from you guys to Aquarius. So there's significant placements within Aquarius. There's going to be significant conjunctions with Pluto, Venus, the Sun, Saturn, and Jupiter, as well as Mercury going retrograde, all in Aquarius, which kicks off this week. On the opposite end of the zodiac table in the shadows, we have a Leo full moon. Now, so I wanted to structure the readings this week in such a way that highlights how we're working with the shadows and how we're all able to work effectively with that heavy placement of Aquarius. Now, whenever there's an Aquarius transit, it's always going to hit your second house, your house of possessions, your house of money. But when it comes to soul work, let's always go deeper and really look at this idea of possession. What possesses me? What is owned by me? What isn't? What is someone else's? What possession am I willing to release in order to invest in the new? But first and foremost, it's always going to be the house of money. So in very practical ways, a lot of Cappies out there are heavily focused on this realm of money, finances, material possessions. Maybe you are noticing an increase in opportunities in that regard. Maybe you're noticing an increase when it comes to, you know, new ways of making money. Obviously, with all of this Aquarius energy, like, this tells a bigger story for the next 3 years when it comes to the structures that we're now putting in place. You know, old ways of doing things no longer work, and maybe that means for many Cappies out there, there's a new way to make money, a new way to look at money, to as far as how you are possessed by being driven by it. Okay, so really look at the multi-dimensional layers when it comes to the houses and how it affects us on an individual level. So lots of Aquarian movement within your realms of money and possessions, my lovely Cappies. There's also that full moon in Leo lighting up the shadows, okay? So we're going to feel this pull. We're going to have to be also aware of how that's working with us to our detriment, to our benefit. What it means for you guys is it's calling on the parts of yourself that you keep to yourself, all right? So your 8th house is being lit up by this full moon in Leo. So let's look at the shadow of Leo. Where do we desire to possess based on pride? Where do we desire to possess because of insecurities? And not because Leo is ruled by the sun, which also, you know, it hits our solar plexus as well. So whenever we're noticing, like, all of these placements lining up in Aquarius, it's always going to have that effect as far as opposite the zodiac table, and that's lighting up Leo for you guys. That Leo full moon is lighting up 8th house for you. 8th house matters, rules, death, and rebirth. It is the catalyst within each of us that we desire to completely transform. So what is completely transforming or needs to be completely transformed in all matters related to possessions, material, lack thereof, this concept of security and how you build for self. What is it that needs to be, I was going to say eclipsed, interesting, because we don't have any eclipses anytime soon. So 8th house is also the realms of other people's money, okay? So this is clients' money, this is partners' money. Where do you feel like you need to sort of identify this concept of possession in its light and in its dark? So take it however it resonates, my lovely Cappy. I'm going to pull a tarot card to represent that full moon in Leo and the shadow work that you guys will no doubt be feeling and working through, and I'll pull a card to represent all of those Aquarian placements which do hit your second house of income, okay? And as well as a crystal card for healing. So you've got the Empress on the bottom of the deck, beautiful creator, and in many ways, okay, because in the original tarot, the Empress is a pregnant woman. So let's look at this concept of gestation, birth, building, this 9-month period. Maybe you are rewinding the clock 9 months ago and notice whatever possesses you as far as concepts, beliefs, drives when it comes to material possessions and money, other people's money. Where is it that you've had to sort of surrender this concept of, you know, equal reciprocity, even because the second house is the number 2. It is duality, it's give and take, energy in, energy out. So we're looking at balance. And 8th house energy in the shadows is all about deeper drives, okay, and what ultimately needs to be transformed. And in any way, so what was I going to say? You know, when you just start speaking and you if you think of this concept of a pregnant woman, whether you are male or female, okay, when you become pregnant for the first time, who that individual is before she gives birth is going to be a completely different individual by the time she has given birth. It is a transformative journey, not just for the beautiful soul that she is birthing and growing within her, but this new version of herself. Now I've just got goosebumps. That's significant for someone out there. This new version of herself that she has been gestating and growing as well, because that individual is birthed at the time of the birth as well. Okay, so maybe there is a deeper story here for many Cappies out there as far as the last 9 months, as far as what you're hoping to achieve 9 months from now, and literally, you know, experiencing a victory, okay, when it comes to the emotional realms and opening our hearts again. All right, so there's a victory here certainly in what you have manifested when it comes to second house matters, okay? 8th house, all right, this full moon in Leo is going to be highlighting this lack mentality, all right? When the 5 of coins shows up, there is abandonment, there is a leaving, there is feeling left out. So I can go deeper still with abandonment issues, lack mentality. How do those two energies drive me in the realms of how I view possessions, money, material pursuits, what needs to be deeply transformed within me under the light of this Leo full moon? When it comes to how this literally is the 5 of coins. Am I driven because I don't want to lose? Am I driven because of a lack mentality? Am I driven because of a past story that deeply impacted me growing up, not having much, whatever the case may be? There's redefinitions around second house themes. There's redefinitions, and more importantly, on practical levels, like if you are a Capricorn that was experiencing loss over the last 9 months, I'm going to say you are rebirthing, okay, from this experience of lack. You are experiencing a victory, all right? Watch what you can achieve between the months of March and July. The reason I say that is because of the Empress, the 3 and the 7, okay, which all denote, which falls between Aries and Cancer seasons, okay? Watch what you can birth and give birth to and gestate once you go through a deep transformation. I've said it before and I'll say it again. All of the zodiacs that I'll be connecting into, doesn't matter what zodiac you are, I'm intuitively feeling 3 levels of zodiacs, okay, that I'm connecting into when I do these readings. Those first initial aha moments when we realize, oh my goodness, that's what the subconscious is trying to say. This is what my patterning that I've had my whole life. Just that initial awareness stage. The second layer still is those that are sort of aware of the shadows, aware of deeper drives and looking to transform. So they're actively working with shadow work. Higher still, and it's no better than or worse than, you know, third layer of zodiacs that I'm connecting into intuitively are actively working, not just they have done the shadow work, but they're experiencing the higher octaves of these energies. Because when we're infusing higher dimensional light, when we're working with never before seen energy, it's going to hit us in many ways. No different if there was a dark landscape and we suddenly see a bright light. You know, the average human being, the way we sort of respond and react to that is fight, flight, or freeze. When we see something different, when something comes into our awareness, we experience that initial cognitive dissonance. I've never before looked at that concept in that way before. Look at that other person's different viewpoints. I'm either going to be reacting in fight, flight, or freeze. Yeah? So think of awakening in that sense. And there's many ways in which we can experience that. You guys are going to be making some head and heart decisions this week in the realms of possessions, okay? Again, what is it about the lovers, about duality, about head and heart that we're making decisions rather than just being practical and making practical choices in the realms of finances, in the realms of possessions? And you know what? Within the relationship dynamics that we all experience, there is always going to be this possessive energy of lack mentality that can drive us and keep us further away from experiencing something wholesome, experiencing something that like when I see the Empress and the Lovers, that is a powerful, powerful bond. All right, so many are working with divine feminine energy, many are working with unconditional love energy. So apply that wherever it resonates, whether you are actively healing shadow aspects, whether you are seeing the higher view, whether you are deciding how best to sort of gestate this next chapter of your life when it comes to love, sharing money, because the eighth house is other people's money, the second house is your money, okay? So take it however it resonates. There's definitely a victory here, and it's going to start from the heart. Look at that, Knight of Cups, King of Pentacles, there you are. Okay, so what we're trying to do, Cappy, is move through control tendencies where we're sort of holding on because of a fear of lack. Apply that how you look at money, apply that how you look at love, because how we make love is how we make money. That energy exchange, equal reciprocity, that trust in the giving, the trust in the receptivity is always going to apply, because like the money rules this world in many ways, okay? So there's something very tangible, something very practical in the essence of its exchange. Love is like that too. How many times do we not apply business sense to our love relationships? How many times do we enter love relationships that are unequal, and we eventually feel that? In business relationships, there are contractual obligations. We know that there is going to be a level of expectation of giving in order to receive. We know that. We fundamentally know that there are laws protecting us and making us accountable to partake in that equal exchange. That doesn't always happen in the realms of love. There's something here about love and money, sharing money, other people's money, your money, how you view possessions, how you view lack, and how that ultimately can drive you in many ways. All right, but there's a beautiful energy here of what you're gestating and what you will experience a victory in. All right, Cappies, your chrysoprase is your crystal card for the week, which is nature, calming, accepting, and universal. This stone reminds us of the universal interconnectedness of the whole. It promotes hope, love of truth, and offers deeper personal insights. It stimulates the heart chakra as well as the sacral chakra, encouraging fidelity in personal and professional relationships. This stone helps us to overcome ego and illuminates past self-centered actions and their effects, enabling us to grow beyond thoughtlessness and egotism. The divinatory meaning of this card, Capricorn, signifies the need to look closely at our own motivations and actions. Are you driven by the higher ideals, or have you become bogged down in egocentric, thoughtless behavior that satisfies the here and now, not the greater good? Okay? So we're moving towards gestating wholesomeness and equal reciprocity in love and money. There you go, guys. That was your quick read for the week. Hope you got something out of that. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so by heading above to the Indigo Ascension shop link. And by all means, if you're watching on YouTube, please do like, share, subscribe, and let your other empath, sensitive, and intuitive friends know where to find the channel so they can keep up to date with the cosmic themes for the week and the free zodiac readings as well. Take care, Cappy. Have an amazing week. Until next time.